That's why these fools are running around here. I'm in charge. I'm in charge.
Not be discouraged. We are on the right track. Especially when a white man pursues you, you must know you are on the right track. A white man does not pursue a useless person. So, and I'm happy with that. I'm not complaining because I don't want them to like me. The day they like me, you must know I sold out. There's a problem with me. So I don't want to be liked by this white sellouts who stole our country. So
the Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema has strongly denied allegations of a white genocide in South Africa following a high-profile meeting between President Cyril Ramaphosa and US President Donald Trump at the White House. The leaders convened on Wednesday in an effort to ease growing diplomatic tensions between the two nations. Relations have become strained over South Africa's vocal stance on the Israel-Palestine conflict and domestic policy moves, including the contentious Expropriation Act, which allows for land seizure without compensation. Adding fuel to the fire, the U.S. recently granted refugee status to a group of 49 Afrikaners who claimed they were facing persecution in South Africa. During the White House meeting, Trump screened a video montage that included Malema singing the controversial apartheid-era struggle song Kill the Boer and speaking in favor of land reform without compensation. Malema, known for his fiery rhetoric and radical economic policies, took to social media to respond. He wrote on his X account, "A group of older men meet in Washington to gossip about me. No significant amount of intelligence evidence has been produced about white genocide. We will not compromise our political principles on land expropriation for political expediency." AfriForum, a civil rights organization representing Afrikaner interests, distanced itself from the video compilation. CEO Kali Krill told the ENCA that, "I think President Trump himself made a compilation of all these videos. It was not our compilation." Krill criticized the South African judiciary for failing to adequately protect farmers and condemned President Ramaphosa for not denouncing the Kill the Boer chant, and said, "We have a court system not protecting farmers that are being murdered, and the president now tries to say this is the other party." The worst part is that South African president refused to condemn this. Despite the friction, Krill welcomed the opportunity for dialogue and said the circumstances have now been created for further discussions. From AfriForum's side, we also want solutions. The Democratic Alliance Member of Parliament, Emma Powell, described the meeting as chaotic and difficult, but commended DA leader John Steenhuisen for confronting what she called the radical, racist and destructive agendas of Malema and the Umkhonto weSizwe Party, and said Julius Malema is not a minister and does not form part of the government. "We were all deeply shocked when we were suddenly shown these horrendous videos. The shoot the Boer, kill the Boer sentiment cannot be tolerated in South Africa. It is a call that is completely antithetical to our constitution." Powell emphasized the need to restore economic relations, particularly around the African Growth and Opportunity Act (AGOA), which she described as all but dead in the water, and said it's critically important that President Trump reconsider trade tariffs, especially in the automotive sector, to avoid an industrial collapse. She also expressed hope that Trump will attend the upcoming G20 summit in South Africa. Despite the diplomatic drama, South Africa's newly appointed Home Affairs Minister Leon Schreiber struck a more optimistic tone, praising Ramaphosa's delegation for advocating foreign investment, and said, "I strongly support the call for technological investment to accelerate our digital transformation of civic services and immigration systems. Let's work together to supercharge digital reform." As political tensions simmers and economic stakes rise, the meeting between Ramaphosa and Trump has opened new fault lines in US-South Africa relations, but also a potential pathway to critical dialogue. On the other hand, Donald Trump has called for the arrest of South African political leader Julius Malema over his use of the controversial Kill the Boer chant, escalating already strained relations between the two countries. Trump made the remarks during a high-level meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa at the White House on Wednesday. Meeting attended by senior government officials and business leaders from both nations was meant to address growing diplomatic and economic tensions. Trump's comments followed the circulation of a video clip showing EFF leader Malema speaking in parliament about land reform. The EFF claims the clip was misused to push a misleading narrative. Tensions between Washington and Pretoria have intensified since Trump's second term, especially after his vocal criticism of South Africa's land reform policy, which he described as a seizure of land from white Afrikaner farmers, an assertion the South African government has denied. Relations worsened further in February when the United States cut HIV and AIDS funding to South Africa. Earlier this year, Trump expressed his opposition to South Africa's Expropriation Act on Truth Social and on X, formerly known as Twitter. Trump said, "How could we be expected to go to South Africa for the very important G20 meeting when land confiscation and genocide is primary topic of conversation? They are taking the land of white farmers and then killing them and their families. Is this where we want to be for the G20? I don't think so." Trump wants the EFF leader to be arrested for chanting the Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer Liberation song. Trump expressed his wish for President Cyril Ramaphosa to have Malema arrested for chanting the liberation songs, which were previously challenged in court by AfriForum but lost in court. However, President Ramaphosa said Malema's utterance did not represent the government policy or government. He also emphasized that Malema was not part of the government, but was empowered to speak his mind by the Constitution. However, Trump interjected, asking, "But why wouldn't you arrest that man? That man said kill the white farmers and then he danced. And he's dancing and he's killed the white farmers." He said if someone gets up in parliament and sings kill the certain group of people, he needs to be arrested very quickly. And said that man is going all over South Africa, and that's not a small party. That was a stadium that holds 100,000 people, and I hardly saw an empty seat. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of representation. He said even the white crosses, which he'd produced as part of his argument earlier, represented dead white farmers. And you take a look at Australia, they're being inundated, and we're being inundated with people that want to get out of South Africa because their farm is valueless. Trump claims that farmers want to get out of the country with their lives. He criticized the media for not reporting on the alleged genocide and said, and this is a very serious situation, and if we had real news or real press or media, which we don't have because they won't talk about this. He said this happens to white farmers and that's a tough situation. How do you explain that they are taking people's land away, and in many cases those people are being executed, and in many cases it's not the government but it's people that kill them and then take their land and nothing happens to them. He admitted that apartheid was terrible, but said the alleged genocide was the opposite of apartheid, and said what's happening now is never reported. Nobody knows about it. All we know is we're being inundated with people, with white farmers from South Africa, and it's a big problem. Marco Rubio was telling me he's never seen anything like it. Rubio was grilled by the Senate when he appeared to account for several issues. The U.S. Senate vehemently disputed Rubio and Trump's claims of genocide in South Africa on Tuesday. Trump expressed his concern about the increasing number of individuals seeking to leave South Africa due to the perceived imminent death. He blamed Ramaphosa for doing nothing to stop the alleged killing of white farmers and the expropriation of land without compensation. Ramaphosa strongly denied Trump's claims, saying the Constitution guarantees and protects the sanctity of tenure of land ownership, and that the Constitution protects all South Africans with regard to land ownership. His explanation was also supported by Minister of Agriculture, billionaire businessman Johan Rupert, and COSATU President Zingiswa Losi, who were part of the delegation to the U.S. Stearnason said South Africa was battling with crime more than farm matters. He pleaded for support from the U.S. to deal with the crime rate. Rupert said crime was the biggest problem in South Africa, even in the Western Cape, where the DA was in government. He said there was a gang-related violence in the Cape Flats, just like America was battling with it too. Lucy also emphasized that there was a problem of high rate of unemployment, which was the root cause of the crime. She pleaded with Trump to invest in the country to create more jobs, which might assist in dealing with the crime rate. What's your take on this one, people? Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more news.